Yeah, I guess one of the many goals I would love to achieve is to be able to easily help people persevere in this business, whether it's from a business standpoint, artist standpoint, just whatever standpoint. I plan to share like a lot of information just from the experience I had and what I've learned and what I've researched and read about, and share with other people, like preferably young people, help them take their thing to the next level. Because I feel like in this business, it's just like anything. It's like each one teach one. You got to pass it down. If you move to a certain level, your goal should always be to pass it down and supersede that level by teaching someone else the jewels. So that's one of like the main goals I have that I feel like I haven't full-fledged achieved yet, and I'm working towards that. Yeah, reaching out, international vibes, definitely a conscious decision, especially in places like South Africa and Europe and Japan, primarily because I feel like a lot of the love has come from there directly, that has fed my career and continued my career to be able to even exist this long. So it's been a blessing, and I feel like it's important to touch these certain areas on different levels, but definitely on a level where it's done on purpose. Primarily I feel like hip-hop's worldwide, so why not really explore that when we're making these moves all the time? So yeah, I want to collaborate with the much powerful talent that I met while in South Africa, or when I traveled through Europe, all of these brilliant producers I meet and brilliant talent, and even in Japan, I've worked with people there as well. So it's something that, yeah, on purpose, it's done. Worldwide domination. We taking over. It's a good question. Honestly, in Europe, I would say there are definitely more markets in Europe that are more familiar with my music than there are in the States. But in terms of reaction, it really depends on where I am. I can go to places on the West Coast and feel like I'm in Europe, in terms of the reaction from the music and how many people are in tune. Or, if I'm somewhere like Atlanta, where I spent a lot of time building up my career, same feel, or even in New York home, depending on what the setup is like and who's in the audience and, what the vibe is like. Primarily what I've learned is you're always going to get the greatest response when you deal with the simple principle of vibing with who likes you. And, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily always trying to break yourself into a new market completely. Vibe with the people who rock with you already and grow from that. It's always ill. It's always good vibes, motivating, especially when you've been doing it for a certain amount of time. It takes a lot of effort to keep yourself motivated, to keep going. There's a lot of obstacles, and it's just hard. This is a real cutthroat business, so there's no easy steps to greatness. Obviously, when I visited South Africa for the first time, I was overwhelmed by the response, mainly because although I knew my music was there, I didn't know how many people embraced it and how much they embraced what I've been doing over the years. So it was an overwhelming response, and yeah, traveling in Europe, it's always a blessed scenario because the people there are very in tune with the music. But in comparison, I would say, yeah, it depends on where I am. Definitely. Yeah, I was definitely quite a bit surprised, actually. Although, I knew really since 2000, Subverse Music, with the first Science of Life album coming forth by Day, there was a guy, DJ OP Miller, who actually at the time was interning and then soon started working for Subverse. But every year he would travel in December to South Africa and bring all the music there. So he'd be DJing there, sharing a lot of the promos with the other DJs. And we would even have it to the point where Science of Life was doing over-the-phone interviews with YFM since 2000, 2001. So we've been in tune with YFM, Peace to Lee, and the YFM crew that have been holding us down from then. So from that, I mean, I shouldn't have been so surprised, but I guess to be in it and just be there in the moment and share the moment with the people, yeah, it was really powerful. Definitely. You know, Cape Town, Joburg, like, definitely overwhelming experiences, especially, you know, I'll share the jewel and say, in Cape Town and Joburg, when I was on stage, I felt overwhelmed to the point where I had to kind of like take deep breaths and really take it all in. There was a lot of powerful energy, and it was crazy. Definitely. I'm coming back for more. Very genuine, very genuine. Honestly, to be a young man who gained knowledge of himself and been on a journey to learn more about my roots and, you know, where my ancestors are from, and just where it all started in terms of civilization itself and how the world works. You know, I know South Africa is just one small country in this huge, massive continent, but that was my very first time touching ground on the continent of Africa. And every man here in America who's on a similar path as me, that's like a dream come true for us to ever touch ground, you know, on Africa. That's like, you know, something that you just have to do before it's all said and done on this physical plane. So to me, that was like one of the main life missions accomplished right there. You know, like, yeah, so powerful. So powerful. And it's something that carried on, you know, still to this day. Since the trip, I'm in tune with so many people that I met there, have done music with people. I'm actually working on a project now that will also have a DVD and, you know, a lot of the footage that I have from my trip to South Africa. So yeah, that was a powerful trip that I would easily never ever be able to forget. And I'm still sharing a lot of the vibes and the stories, and I'll share more with this project I have working on, and you guys will hear more about that soon. So all of the peeps out there that I met and linked with, you know, all of that music and vibes, it's going to come to life, and we'll share it with the rest of the world. Definitely.
SoulRealTV.com